Well, as Christmas draws closer, I feel as though I've been put on the nice list as I have been rewarded with what I've been asking for all year, the Friday night matchup in the PVTO tip-off as your Chicopee Pacers face off against the Chicopee Comp Colts. Hello, everybody. I am your play-by-play announcer for this evening, Cameron Neary. I am alongside my analyst, Dylan Kaminsky, and we are getting right into the action here at the Mullins Center on the UMass Amherst campus as these two teams that are just 9 minutes away from each other travel north for their first matchup of the year here in the Mullins Center. As that first shot lets go, it will not fall from the Chicopee team. That was number 10, Nyla Francis, the sophomore, back at the key. Again, these are two teams that have had it out for each other. This is their one and only matchup of the year due to conference realignment. A foul on the way up for number 3, Sophia Morera.
And Chicopee just wasting absolutely zero time as we have the Kleps brothers sitting down right next to us, arriving after their dominant win against Chicopee. But Chicopee looking to make up for their men's team losing just a few minutes ago here in the Mullins Center.
Yeah, important to mention this game does follow the men's battle for Chicopee, where Comp had a dominant win over the Pacers. So the girls Pacers team are looking to respond tonight, and they have so far, still scoreless, but the crowd is raucous here for the Pacers. Great turnout tonight, always a great event, the PVTO. This is the famed Friday night matchup. This is what everyone's been waiting for. Game started north of 8:45. So if you're here, you're a true basketball fan, here to support these Chicopee girls teams. That one won't fall as well. Another foul on the way up for Nyla Francis.
And just good persistence by Francis right there, sticking with the bucket, able to get the miss and put it back up for an easy trip to the free throw line. And Cam, you know, I was just talking about this with Zeke a few moments ago, but not just the Battle of Chicopee, kind of the Battle of Indiana as well, with the Pacers taking on the Colts.
Yeah, funny to think about two teams that in professional sports do draw a likeness to the Indianapolis Colts and the Indiana Pacers.
I believe so.
So, yeah, absolutely. Funny how this little Western Mass rivalry can expand outward. Still scoreless in this matchup. Price goes 0 for 2 from the line. Comp now with a shot. That one won't fall as well. That was a 3 attempt from Trinity McCarthy, the sophomore starter.
Yeah, and McCarthy had space just a little bit too far to the left on that shot as she hit nothing but air.
Just to read you guys the starting lineup on the Chicopee side of the ball, you've got Cassidy, Pytel, Sophia Morera. This is Chicopee Comp heading the other way, and bodies flying underneath the net. That will be a jump ball. What a bunch of mayhem, Dylan.
You said it, Cam, and just a great play by Ava de Betancourt for Chicopee Comp. Able to get that steal and get a fast break opportunity, but it was an even better effort from Chicopee to stop her from scoring.
Yeah, these girls had just come out with such intensity, and another shot. That one won't fall either. On the rebound, puts it up, just left.
And that's Cheyenne Santiago. She wanted a foul on her first shot attempt, but she didn't get one.
This is McCarthy again, gets fouled on her way down.
Yeah, and that one, you could tell that was a foul from a mile away, folks. Just some hard contact with the ground and bodies colliding in the paint.
Yeah, this game is starting to get ugly early. This might be one of the more physical matchups in the entire weekend. Obviously, a 2-day event here. This is your third and final matchup of Friday, but we've still got 7 games to go tomorrow, and this game is shaping up to be one of the better ones for the weekend. I'm trying to get through the starting lineup. There's just so much action here. I believe we left off Sophia Morera, followed by Nyla Francis, Kaya Price, and Miley Sanchez on the Chicopee Pacers team. On the other end of the court for Chicopee Comp, it is number 4, Ava Betancourt, Waleris Pena, Trinity McCarthy, Alanis Isaac, and Cheyenne Santiago. Chicopee Comp, the first on the board as they send one home at the line. Chicopee looking to respond, and they are on the board as they take their first lead of the game. That was number 11, I believe, Kaya Price.
And a great play by Price. And then by Chicopee again on the other end, forcing the turnover. They're going to get an inbounds from half court.
Neither team giving the other one an inch of room here. This is hard action. Two teams that know each other very well. They've played each other twice a year for the past, I believe, 8 years. Chicopee currently on a 4-game losing streak. Comp has had the advantage. Chicopee actually hasn't beaten Chicopee Comp in over 1,000 days. Their last win was on January 30th of 2023. It was a 61-28 win. So Chicopee looking to right that wrong. They've had a couple down seasons to Comp, and so far they lead, but not a big one.
Yeah, and these are two teams that have a lot of history with each other, but as we just saw, it's been a lot of history of Chicopee Comp dominating. And Chicopee, they're going to be looking to reverse that trend here tonight.
Absolutely. If you go all the way back to the 2017-2018 season, these teams are actually even against each other. So for the past 8 years-ish, these teams have just had it out for each other, and no team, the true victors, obviously, Comp has been on top of their game these past 2 years.
And we have some mayhem in the paint. It looks like it's going to end with Comp shooting some free throws. But I just want to look at Cheyenne Santiago on that play. She went up under the post and ended up about a foot away from the three-point line, as we have an airballed free throw from number 20, Alanis Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac, the junior forward for this team, looking to add to Comp's 1 point from the free throw, and she will not. That side iron for Comp. Now marching up the court, this is Cassidy Pytel, the starting junior for Chicopee. She hands it off to Sophia Moreira. Back to Pytel. Pytel loses control of it, but ends up with it somehow. Gritty play, passes that one off to her teammate, but then it is stolen by Comp, and they are heading up court with steam. This is Isaac again, passes it off to Betancourt. Betancourt slows the game down now. Passes it off to her winger in Pena. Pena moves inside, puts that up, and a big block from Kaya Price. An absolute rejection, and Chicopee's heading the other way. They put it up. That one won't fall. A great attempt from Moreira.
Just some really great back and forth transition basketball in this one. Much like we saw in the last game. Just some physical play, and want to give a shout out to Cheyenne Santiago on that last possession for Comp, doing a great job to keep the play alive and give Comp any semblance of offense.
Yeah, and what a play that was from Kaya Price. She's been everywhere tonight, using that size to her advantage, gets the inbound, puts that up, and just sneaks it in. They now lead 4-1. Comp now from the outside. Passes it off to Pena. Pena fighting now. McCarthy. I believe McCarthy was fouled there. Wasn't happy with the call, was Moreira. Important to remember last year's matchup. These two teams played each other for their first game of the year last year, and Chicopee Comp came out on top, obviously, and it was a dominant 52-17 win.
Chicopee Comp struggling on offense early in this one. It's going to be another turnover and just another wasted possession for them, as Chicopee will look to inbound.
Yeah, Chicopee Comp definitely playing, they're on their heels a little bit to start this game, but they'll need to right that wrong if they want to play anything like last season. Obviously, after their first win against Chicopee, they would go on to go 10-11, including another win. Puts that one up, and it's good again from Kaya Price, putting the team on her back so far.
Boy, that was some Hakeem Olajuwon-esque footwork in the paint right there, just able to push that defender off and create the space.
And a huge block from Chicopee, number 15. Oh, and a big charge.
What a play by Pena right there. Standing in there and taking the contact. getting the possession for her team. That's something that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but plays like that can make all the difference in a game.
Absolutely, that was a basketball IQ play there from Valeris Pena, and the onus on her as a junior to go out there and take a charge. That's a difficult job, but Pena does it well, gains a big possession.
And I'm sure she's grateful that her teammate, Trinity McCarthy, wasted some time to tie her shoe there so that she could get a moment to catch her breath after taking that hard charge.
Yeah, it makes you ask, was the shoe really untied?
Oh, and a good save by Comp.
Yeah, that was Pena again, and a spin move, and she puts it home! Marrero with a highlight reel play to start this game and to start her season. Chicopee leads 8-1.
And just a filthy move. Underneath the rim, spin move off the defender to get under the rim, and what a play for Chicopee Comp.
Well, I would like to say that Chicopee is absolutely dominating based off of this 7-point lead. It's been 8-1 so far, but first I would like to, at this time, I would like to thank the following sponsor, the Terraza. Terraza at Country Club of Greenfield, a place where families gather.
And Cam, we've seen a pretty, what feels like kind of an even matchup on both sides, but the score 8-1, not a score you see in basketball very much in this first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of what I was getting at, was this idea that I would like to say that Chicopee has a dominant lead over this Comp team, but this Comp team has held their own in every facet. They've been a defensive mastermind. I point towards Valeris Pena, just in front of our eyes here. She sort of leapfrogged the ball, right? Sent it in between her legs, ended up in the front row in the VIP section. Pena laying down her life on the line for this game so far. Now let's see if Comp can translate that into some offense. They had a great job of that last year. They actually went to the D2 tournament. They lost in the first round to Tewksbury, 55-48, a close matchup that was, but gotta remember, these are both D2 teams. Used to be in the same Valley Wheel Conference, but due to conference realignment, Chicopee now in the Central Conference puts that one up. Won't go from Pytel. Like I was saying, these two teams used to be in the same conference. Chicopee now in the Central Conference, and according to an anonymous coaches poll, Chicopee actually has a 13.3 chance to win the conference. That's their preseason projection. They're living up to it right now as they lead. Comp looking to respond. This is McCarthy, passes it to the inside, and a huge block from Kaya Price again.
And we've already seen some huge blocks from this Chicopee defense. They're really limiting the points in the paint so far.
Absolutely, a little pushing and shoving after the whistle, so extracurricular, if you will. It will be a jump ball, but it seems as though Ava Betancourt from the Chicopee Comp Colts had a little frustration with that play. Wasn't happy with that call. It seems as though these two teams are already under each other's skin before the action has really started here. What a jam-packed first quarter this has been. Just over 2 minutes left to go. Ball is tied up, and a little more frustration. It was Betancourt and Pytel going at it on the opposing sideline.
Yeah, and those two players, it seems, have been the main story of this first quarter. They've been doing a lot of ball handling for their respective teams and just going at one another so far. Really interested to see how this matchup pans out for the rest of these three quarters.
Marching up the court now is Pena. With the steal, it's Chicopee, and Pytel again. That name keeps coming up. She goes to the outside, puts it up, and it's good. Gets bumped on her way down, but it's not stopping her.
Yeah, just a tough bucket from Pytel. Really putting her team on the back. The score now 10-1 favoring Chicopee.
Comp now really on their heels. They are getting out-dogged right now. This Chicopee team is incredible on defense and have been backing it up on offense. No shock that the leading scorer is number 11, Kaya Price. We've seen her everywhere tonight for Chicopee. She's got 6 points on the night so far.
As far as Chicopee Comp goes, hitting both of these free throws would be a major step in the right direction to try and get rid of this Chicopee lead.
And Pena goes back rim and in for her first of the night.
And as UMass head coach Frank Martin says so much, the free throws are crucial. And when you aren't hitting them at the rate that you normally hit them, it can make all the difference in the world for a game. So good sign to see her knock those two down.
Yeah, it seems as though Pena might be trying out for the UMass men's team with those some free throws. I'm sure coach would be happy with those. Chicopee now looking for the response. Pass to the inside. Puts it up off the side of the backboard.
Yeah, she hit the Paul George side of the rim there.
Now heading the other way, she's got open court. It's all Chicopee.
And an air ball from Nyla Francis, but they almost get their own rebound. Unfortunately, Comp comes up with it.
Yeah, that was a huge opportunity for Chicopee to extend the lead, but Chicopee Comp not backing down on defense, using their speed to their advantage. Down low there, that was Cheyenne Santiago. Just went through the wickets and out of bounds.
Santiago had a couple good plays earlier this game, but still just hasn't quite been able to get that scoring going. And it's something that Chicopee Comp needs badly now.
Well, less than 45 here to go in the Mullen Center as Chicopee brings it up court. This is Nyla Francis, passes it off to a teammate. Now down low is Price. Price from the outside, hooks it, can't find the rim. Francis, excuse me, puts that one up, and it's good.
And if I'm Kaya Price right there, I'm saying to my teammate, yeah, that was a pass.
Yeah.
That was intended to go off the backboard right into your hands.
Absolutely, that's an unselfish play. Comp now on the outside.
That's Bailey Newhouser just being hounded on the double team. She had to make an errant pass, and the ball's going to go the other way.
Yeah, and a little insult to injury on the bench there. I'm not sure who that was, but a little looked as though it was almost a first down celebration. That was Stephon Diggs-esque. Chicopee heading the other way. 5 seconds to go in this half. Francis passes it off. Out of bounds.
Good play by Chicopee Comp just to not get complacent, not to lay down in these final moments, and to stay playing that aggressive defense. It's what got that men's team such a dominant win just a couple moments ago, and now if the women's team wants to come back, they're going to need to lean into that mindset.
Well, this is number 15, Giselle Rivera from the line. Hop, skip, and a jump for Rivera. That one rim and out as time expires at the first quarter, and Chicopee Pacers lead the Chicopee Comp Colts 13-3 in this matchup. Dylan, thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, this first quarter has been really great so far. Just some high energy play from both sides.
Absolutely, and at this time, we would like to thank our following sponsors. First of all, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Hey, basketball fans, want to get closer to the game you love? Visit the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame here in Springfield, Mass., where greatness lives inside. From legends who shaped the sport to the moments that change history, you'll find it all under one roof. Interactive exhibits, incredible artifacts, and unforgettable photo ops for every fan. Plan your visit today at hoophall.com and experience for yourself why greatness lives inside.
You know, Cam, as we see these cheer squads coming out onto the court doing their acrobatic routines, makes me wonder why UMass doesn't do that more for men's basketball. I feel like they're always kind of just doing the same thing with the Go UMass little pieces of paper. You know, I think we need some innovation there.
You know what? I think it could be because they haven't been to the Works Cafe. Eat well and feel good at the Works Cafe in downtown Amherst. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Perhaps that would raise their spirits just a little bit, maybe get the cheering a little more active. I know for sure that I will be heading to the Works Cafe soon. But we got to get through this game first. There's nowhere I would rather be more than the Mullins Center. What a great opportunity for these two teams to start their season right here on the University of Massachusetts Amherst campus. It's a great opportunity. A lot of fans here tonight. What do you think about this game, Bill?
Well, this fan turnout looks about similar to a UMass men's basketball game. But yeah, so far just a great matchup. Obviously, these two teams have been rivals for years and years and years. And now they finally get a chance to play in the prestigious and illustrious Mullins Center. Only 3 points from Chicopee Comp so far. You gotta wonder if that depth perception effect in the Mullins Center has something to do with that.
Yeah, you gotta remember the lights are just a little brighter here. Oh, and what a play from Francis. This is Pena now looking for the same idea. She can't find the net either. A putback and another. Comp struggling down low. Santiago gave it her best shot, but couldn't put back either of those rebounds.
Yeah, it just felt like neither side could really get a hold on the ball. No one team coming up with possession, but rather just a tipped ball over and over again. That's something that they practice for, but as we have a miscommunication there.
Yeah, it led to a shot. It seemed as though McCarthy inbounded the ball to her teammate in Elenus Isaac, and then on the return pass couldn't control it there, but now regardless, heading the other way are the Pacers. This is Pena again with open court. She looks up. Oh, can't find the nylon on that one. That was toilet bowled all the way around. Bad beat for Pena, who gets back on defense right away.
Man, you could just feel the crowd here in the Mullins Center holding their breath for that one.
Yeah.
Felt like it spent an eternity on the rim.
Pull-up jumper from number 15, Giselle Rivera. That was a beauty of a shot. Swished that one.
Just the first three-point attempt for Chicopee in this one. They're 1 for 1, and if they could just turn that up a little bit, they could run away with this one.
Well, Pena tried to respond there, found the back rim, but she has just been everywhere tonight. Francis now down low, kicks it out to Rivera, another three. That one's far and away.
That's what they call a heat check.
Yeah, heat check after 1-3. You gotta make sure you got the right headspace. Now another three attempt, this time for Chicopee, and it's Trinity McCarthy, the starting sophomore, drills that one.
Both sides now finding their stride, and this scoring is electric.
Rivera marching up the court. She passes that one off to Colin. Now Rivera again. Or excuse me, that was Champagne.
Number 14, Crystal Champagne, taking those long shots, trying to continue that trend of three-point shooting, but just not able to convert. That was number 14, Crystal Champagne, with the coolest name I have ever heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Crystal Champagne, her game is a lot like her name, a little bit of flair, but we'll see if it can pan out. On the inbound, another three. That one finds front iron. That shot from Joanna Wiseman. Now Francis again drives the paint. Pull-up jumper. Won't go. On a knee is Bailey Newhouser. Sets up the play. Passes it off to Kaylin Belanger.
And that was great awareness by number 3, Bailey Newhouser, to not force a turnover. She was down low on the ground, but able to keep her composure and wait for an open teammate to reveal herself. Unfortunately, Chicopee Comp couldn't result in any points out of that.
And instead, Chicopee now heading the other way. This is Francis. We've seen her all night. She passes it inside, loses control, but still collected.
And the last couple possessions now for Chicopee Comp, ending with a little extra activity after the play, but both sides just fighting for that ball. It's been a really physical last few possessions.
Absolutely, this has been I'm surprised some fists haven't been flying so far.
At this rate, I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, you're right.
But this has been a physical one so far.
I wouldn't mind it. Trinity McCarthy now marching up court. Little flash, she passes it off to Betancourt. Betancourt with a move.
And she'll be called for the travel.
I thought it was just a cool move, but unfortunately you can't take that many steps trying to have that flash.
Well, you know, it depends. Because who's really to say what 3 steps is? You know, you look at the NBA, you got guys like Giannis. They take 5 steps and get away with it. So
I wish I was smart enough to entertain this conversation. I know that there's so much controversy around the gather step, but regardless, they will call Chicopee comp there for the travel. Shot after the whistle won't go
now,
either.
Chicopee getting a foul of their own, so the travel by Ava to Betancourt not really gonna have that much of an effect in the long run.
Yeah, ball inbounded and then right back to Belandrew, passes it inside and a big stuff. Newhouser tried to put it up and she was rejected.
And a fading away layup for Chicopee doesn't go in. Now on the 3, they can't convert either.
Yeah, back and forth play. Now Chicopee driving the paint. Hook shot doesn't find it either.
And man, these have been some messy offensive sets for Chicopee. They still have that 10-point lead because their defense has just been able to smother the other side. But on offense, they really need to just find their composure, take a few deep breaths, and get back into their sets and what they want to run.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Juliana Villalobos, number 31, with the goggles on tonight. She has been a defensive presence since she has checked into this game. You saw her on the attempted block on that play and also trying to, I believe, a pull-up jumper. It was an interesting play there from Villalobos.
Love when players wear the goggles. I don't think we see enough of it nowadays. We need more. We need to bring that back.
No, and who would have thought that high school girls basketball would be the pioneer, but this is the Pioneer Valley tip-off, so Francis kicks it out to Price for a 3. That one's wide right. Francis now again. Pass it off to Price, who can't get a hand on it.
In another sloppy offensive possession, but when the other side just can't put points on the board, it doesn't really seem to matter too much, as this game has been stagnant in the second quarter.
Yeah, the speed has definitely slowed down in this matchup. The first quarter was absolutely tumultuous. These two teams came out of the gate steaming. I think that they've just worn each other out at this point. Second quarter definitely slowed down in pace. Chicopee still leads 16-6, and scoring has been a little stagnant. Francis looks to reverse that now from the outside.
And a nice steal by Comp.
A big steal from McCarthy, but gives it back to Patel, driving the paint, lays that one up. Can't find it. Down low from Villalobos. Well, a full body save from Juliana Villalobos. I knew I should shout her out for a reason. Her defensive play has been incredible so far, completely laid out for that one.
And you know, that's the type of play you really are only gonna find from a goggled player.
Absolutely. The dog it takes in an individual to say, I'm gonna wear these goggles, is the same intensity that you need in a lockdown defensive player. And I think that Villalobos has exemplified that tonight. Price puts that one up, the difficult play, and then fouls.
Kaya Price, she had a good look under the rim, just not able to knock it down. And then the frustration foul is gonna give Comp possession and a little bit of time to inbound.
Yeah, Chicopee had the lead for so long. I think they've gotten ahead of themselves a little bit, starting to maybe get lazy a little bit. Comp looking to respond, pass to the inside. She puts that one up far away, and a response double rainbow over the net.
Playing a little hot potato there.
Hot potato, but Chicopee ends up with the ball. It's Francis, ends up down low. Cut to the inside, goes down hard. They will call Jaciani Diaz. Number 12 for the travel.
we've seen some really great defense in this second quarter. Both sides having trouble putting points on the board, especially from Juliana Villalobos for Chicopee. Her defense and interior presence is one of the main reasons Chicopee has this 10-point lead, and they've been able to protect it for this long.
Well, Kaya Price remains the leading scorer for Chicopee. On the other end of the court, it is Trinity McCarthy with 4 points. She is the leading scorer. She has 4 of the 6 tonight, and it comes as no surprise as McCarthy has been the facilitator all game. Every time Comp marches up the court, McCarthy leads the charge, quarterbacking the plays out there so far. So no surprise there. Still 16-6 here in the Mullins Center. Little history about this rivalry. These two schools used to actually be part of the same building. It was all Chicopee High School, and then some overinflation in the town of Chicopee led to the separation. Chicopee Comp was built as sort of a tech school where you could learn a trade along with getting a high school education. Now Chicopee Comp lies north of the Chicopee River, while Chicopee High School lies south.
See, this is why I love our broadcasting team. Where else are you going to get top-of-the-line basketball calling and a history lesson?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, I'm not sure about this one. I left it out, but this has been called, at least in football, the battle between Chicopee and Chicopee Comp, the battle for the sword. Apparently there was an old sword that was built in the town of Chicopee and is now the prize, but that's from an article from 2010. So I'm not sure if that's still around. I would love to see a sword come out at the end of this game. Seems as though Comp would like one as well, as they are fighting tooth and nail. Another rebound tries to put up, and she will be fouled on the way up. That was Cheyenne Santiago.
Santiago doing a good job so far. She's leading the team in rebounds, and it shows. She's just been under every missed shot, waiting to get that rebound and try and put it back up. She draws the foul this time. She'll shoot 2.
Yeah, Santiago, one of the more intimidating physical presences on the Chicopee girls' side. She's definitely the lead rebounder. Well, McCarthy subs out for Waleris Pena, 2 of the better players on the Chicopee Comp girls team sub out for each other. So taking turns, Pena now with another opportunity. We saw her defensive presence. Santiago drills that one. 16-7 here now at the Mullins Center, and Pena draws another foul.
And Pena just doing a great job of putting herself in the right place at the right time to draw the contact and the foul. Chicopee still has that lead, but Comp fighting back now. The lead gone from 10 to 9 points. Yeah. Pena now with a chance to make it 7.
And Pena coming off the bench. That was her first play. She puts that one home, 16-8.
She's 3 for 3 now from the line in this one, as she airballs the 4th.
Yeah, that was a tough scare ball from Pena there, but sinks the first one. She splits that. She splits from the line.
Chicopee waiting for someone else to come down to try and help inbound this ball, and they needed the help, as it's going to be an almost steal for Comp.
Yeah, Pena is just everywhere on defense. Well, the Pacers burn a timeout there. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second quarter of this matchup. The Pacers still with the lead, like we've said, but Comp also slowly chipping away, now an 8-point deficit. And if you are going to do it, it starts on defense with players like Waleris Pena, who in her last 2 plays have been just a thorn in the Pacers' side. She's been everywhere tonight.
Yeah, you said it. And if I was Chicopee Comp to try and get my way back into this one, I would be looking to exploit that 3-point attack. They're only 1 for 4 tonight. They've only taken 4 shots, but they've taken 20 field goals in the game. And you notice this team, when they're driving into the paint, they're having a lot less success The longer they hold the ball, the closer they get to the rim. I think that if they want a chance to try and make this an even game, they're going to need to rely on that three-pointer.
Absolutely, a somewhat low-scoring game here into the second quarter. Both teams having a defensive masterclass against each other, looking for a bit of an offensive explosion, but time is winding down in the first half. Obviously, a lot more basketball to go. Both teams just need to survive and Comp try to cut back on that deficit.
As the refs will deliberate at the scorer's table. Walk in now. Unclear what the call on the floor is, but I would presume they're trying to speed this up and get the ball on the floor as fast as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Neither team want to give the other one a chance to think. This is both teams becoming stagnant. It looks like these girls are out of the play, even talking to some fans, and focus has been lost. Timeout. Or I actually don't think that was a timeout. I think that the ref just sent both teams back to their own benches. Well, like I said, storied rivalry. They've been even since 2017, but in the grander scheme, if you go all the way back to 2007, which I did, Chicopee Comp leads this rivalry 24-16. A somewhat even matchup. Comp still with the lead. They've won the last 4 all the way back since 2023. So I think that Comp definitely historically has the advantage, but tonight they look to battle back from that deficit. Like I said, this is the only time that these girls will meet this year. They used to play twice a year at least, and sometimes even 3 times a year. But now their first and only matchup is right here in the Mullins Center in Amherst, Mass.
And it's a great environment to start off this season. But you got to wonder perhaps if the first game jitters is kind of affecting these squads tonight. Just 24 combined points with 2:22 left to play in the first half.
Right, you brought up the depth perception earlier. You hear even some NCAA teams having some difficulty with it here. So
UMass one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a learning curve that everyone who comes through these hallowed halls will have to understand, and these girls doing a good job of it so far. We've had 2 matchups here tonight already. This is the 3rd of 3 on this Friday night, our last matchup of the night. But don't worry, there will be 7 more games tomorrow. I could get into all of those matchups, but I feel as though it would take a lot of time. But the most important matchup, the Saturday night matchup, will be the hometown Amherst boys team facing the Minnechaug boys team in what's shaping up to be a great Saturday night matchup.
You know, I don't want to feed a fed horse here, but going back to that free throw discussion, I've always really wanted to just put up a couple free throws on this Jack Lehman court, because I'm so curious to see if that depth perception would affect myself. I feel like if I go onto the floor knowing it's a factor, it won't affect me. How do you feel about that?
Well, a wise man once said it's mind over matter. So I think, I don't know who that wise man was. Maybe it's me.
I remember him being wise.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Me as yeah, that is all that matters. I think that understanding your surroundings is a huge part of the game. Understanding what physical ailments the location might have, and I think that once you understand what's going on around you, you can definitely take advantage of that. I think that with 2 great coaches in Molly Burke from Chicopee and Alyssa Stefanelli from Chicopee Comp, I'm sure that came up maybe in practice and pregame. You know, this is a big arena. Feel it out. I wonder how much of that impacted warm-ups today.
Absolutely. You got to wonder about these things.
Well, wonder no more when this game will continue as Waleris Pena steps up to the line.
And it looks like they awarded a technical foul in Chicopee Comp's favor. They're going to shoot the free throw and likely get possession after this. Unclear from our angle what occurred to warrant that foul, but it's a great opportunity nonetheless for Comp to try and just chuck away at this lead.
Yeah, well, Pena splits again from the line.
All right, here we go.
Inbounded to Pena. Just over 2 minutes ago in the second half. Pena drives, puts it up, and is fouled on her way in.
And boy, that was a pretty move by Pena. She just froze Cassidy Pytel in her shoes with that fake pass. Great move to open up space at the three-point line and get some room to work in the mid-range.
Absolutely. Last 3 fouls taken on comp have all been against Pena. She split the first 2. And she splits the third as well. Now Chicopee looking up court. Rivera marching. Rivera now on the outside, cuts towards the middle, puts it up and blocked by Pena, but they called a foul.
And Chicopee just not scoring at the same level that we saw in the first quarter. They only have 3 here in the second, whereas they had 13 in the first. This is another good chance for them to try and break that scoring drought, but just a total role reversal here in the second. Only 8 combined points from these 2 teams.
Absolutely, Rivera looks to reverse that. And a bit of a reversal on the shot, a lot of backspin, so caught the front rim and bounced out.
I had a childhood friend who always insisted that the right way to shoot was to add plenty of backspin on it.
Okay.
But I think that shot might have just proved him wrong.
Well, my mom always said shoot for the square, so we'll see which one Rivera opts for.
Seems she couldn't make up her mind.
Yeah, a little of both, perhaps. Little backspin, almost hit the square. She goes back rim and out 0 for 2 from the line, and a big floater from, that was McCarthy, I believe.
And McCarthy just tiny bit too much on that one as it airballs and goes out of bounds.
Yeah, looking like Superman out there. Now marching up court is number 1, Anna Gensi Santiago. Have to imagine a sister.
Pytel being hounded, good pass inside.
Yeah, puts up a shot, but McCarthy had a hand on it on the way up. Now Comp with 1:30 to go. Passes it off to McCarthy. McCarthy with a nifty move, passes it off. Now on the inside of Santiago, can't find the rim.
And that shot, someone got a piece of it down low. And it's gonna go to Chicopee Comp as they're able to force the turnover. Chance now, hypothetically, to make this a 1-possession game with a 3.
Well, McCarthy perhaps looking to do so. Top of the key, passes it off. Now from the inside, puts it up. That one won't fall. Shot from Betancourt. Now less than a minute to go. This is Soto Cintrone who looks up. Wow, and a beautiful play which sends Santiago down to her backside. Soto Cintrone with a high layup with contact, puts that one in. 18-10 here with just over 30 seconds to go. McCarthy commands it at the top of the key. Heavy defense from Chicopee. Passes that one off to Betancourt. Betancourt now at the top of the key. Passes that one off to Santiago down low. Puts that one up and it's good.
Santiago, right place, right time. Just perfect execution, waiting on the low block for that pass. Good shot.
Chicopee slowing the game down. It's Soto Cintrone again with 15 now. She marches to the inside. That one won't fall. Oh, and a big block on Kaya Price.
That was Santiago once again.
Santiago fighting for it as the buzzer sounds. What a great quarter, picked up at the end there now, 18-12. Chicopee still with the lead, and at this time, we would like to thank our following sponsors. First of all, McCormick Leadership Academy. One of you behind the scenes of sport management, join the McCormick Sport Leadership Academy to get a glimpse at your dream career in sports. Learn more by scanning the code in your program. We would also like to thank Hooplandia. Attention fans, get ready for the Northeast's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament and festival. Hooplandia returns to Eastern States Exposition, home of the Big E, June 19th through the 21st. With divisions for all ages and skill levels, there's a place on the court for everyone. Rally your team, sign up, and be part of the action. Register today at hooplandia.com. Well, I believe we will take a bit of a break here. There's about 9 minutes until these two teams face off against each other in the second half. I'm excited to get back into it. I've been Cameron Neary alongside Dylan Kaminsky, and we will see you guys again very soon. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mullins Center, where Chicopee is taking on Chicopee Comp. Before we get into this matchup, we would like to thank the following sponsor, the Terrazza. Terrazza at Country Club of Greenfield, a place where families gather. I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. Earlier in this game, the long technical difficulty was due to, I believe, a player on Chicopee was wearing the wrong number, perhaps a jersey malfunction. It's the beginning of the year, a little technical difficulties. I guess even the athletic department is having some trouble, but issues resolved, and we resume play. Pena had the 2 free throws on that. She is now Chicopee Comp's leading scorer. She was actually the first player out here putting up shots, and she was practicing her deep threes, perhaps game-winning threes. So keep that in mind, that Chicopee Comp might have a player in Pena to take that final shot. But Comp inbounds the ball. Dylan, how are we feeling about this second half?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to see what Comp adjusted to in that halftime period, but even more, I'm kind of confounded at this new information we have about the jersey mishap. But you know, at the end of the day, if you're gonna go out there wearing the wrong jersey, might as well have it be the first game of the season.
Absolutely. Get the mistakes out of the way early. And that was a bit of a mistake in a shot, but the play stays alive and turns into a scoring opportunity for Cheyenne Santiago. She puts that one in deep down low. Now lead cut to 4. Chicopee only leads by 4 now in this game.
Oh, and almost dribbled it through the legs of Pena, but a good recovery by her to not allow that to happen.
Betancourt fights to the bitter end for that one, muscles it all the way down to the ground, jump ball, and this will be an inbound for Francis. Saw a lot of Nyla Francis in the first quarter. Second quarter, not so much, but it seemed to be that theme for the entire Chicopee team.
And some fancy dribbling by Sofia Moreira, but she just couldn't keep a hold on it. Chicopee gonna retain possession though.
Yeah, that ball was batted out of bounds as Moreira was trying to work up some fancy footwork there. She looked to confirmation from the ref. I thought that was a funny play, but now Kaya Price down low. Passes that one off to Moreira. Travel.
And Moreira was gonna have to put up a shot regardless with the shot clock winding down. Just 1.2 at the time of the foul. She didn't have a very open shot, so almost bailed out in a way from having to miss that one.
This is McCarthy now in control. Gets muscled away by Soto Centrone. Oh, and the shot put back. Kaya Price on the rebound there, cleaning it up down low.
That's just defense leading to offense. The key to success for every game.
Santiago.
Almost got the Tyrese Halliburton bounce on that one.
Absolutely, Santiago loves it from inside the paint. All of her shots have been real up close. It's where she's excelled so far. Couldn't get that one to fall. Now this is Francis who puts one up from down low. Bodies flying back out. Oh, and a great block. That was number 20, Alanis Isaac, the starting junior for the Colts.
Some great effort from Isaac. She's had a couple great plays tonight, just really leaving it all out on the court.
Moreira spins, passes off to Francis, who eats a punch from Isaac.
And man, we've just seen some physical games early. We're only 3 games into the PVTO, but already these 2 Chicopee v Chicopee matchups just been physical, gritty games. Really what the PVTO is all about. You know, these high school teams getting a chance to go out there and fight limb, tooth, and nail to get that win.
Absolutely, you got to imagine as well, these 2 teams haven't played in what, 9 months? The entire offseason has been building to this first game back, and what a place to start their season off in the Mullins Center. Francis now at the line. She sinks that one, extends the lead to 8. McCarthy now on the outside. Looks for Isaac, but is intercepted. Oh, can't quite get the hand on it. Newhauser moving with steam up court.
And Cassidy Pytel had a chance to get that ball to number 3, Moreira, but just put a tiny bit too much on it. Not able to convert there.
Santiago passes it off. That was Bailey Newhouser. I apologize for that earlier. Newhouser draws the foul on the way up via the Santiago pass. Important to mention Santiago, one of only 2 seniors on this lineup, joined by Joannelise Soto-Centrone. So obviously a leading presence. The only senior gives Newhouser, the sophomore, a tap after she drains the first of 2 shots.
Chicopee Comp shooting just above 50% now from the free throw line. It's stuff like that, when they have the free throw advantage, that could get them the win in the end.
Now marching up court is Moreira. Moreira and McCarthy, two of the most crafty players on the court so far. Puts that one up, front rim and out.
Good effort and good take, just driving to the rim, but the shot unfortunately doesn't fall.
Yeah, that one was a stretch pass all the way to Caitlin Belanger.
And just a good outlet pass by Chicopee Comp there, setting up Bellinger in the right spot to get fouled, and Comp gonna hang on to possession. Let's see if they can hack away at this 7-point lead.
McCarthy telling her teammates to lock in. That one to Santiago. Now to Newhouser. Newhouser loses control, and it's Moreira, or Pytel, who puts that one up, and it's good. Kisses it off the glass.
And Newhouser on the other end, getting pressured defensively, and she had to adjust her feet so as to avoid the travel. Chicopee saw that pass coming from a mile away, and number 2, Cassidy Pytel, just able to read it like a book.
Wow, great play there from McCarthy. Can't let it fall yet. McCarthy split the defenders on that one, put it up, and even the offensive rebound couldn't be put back. Out crashing the paint for Chicopee. That was number 15, Giselle Rivera. Rivera draws the foul on that one. Rivera now from the line. Back rim and in.
Now Willaris Pena and Ava de Betancourt checking in for Chicopee Comp. They've played a huge role in this game so far. We're gonna see if they can get Comp back in this one.
Rivera can't find the second one. Pena recovers, passes that one off to Betancourt. Now back to Pena. Pena crosses center court. From the outside, pushes off, passes to the inside. Can't be controlled by Newhouser.
And both teams just almost running out of gas. I don't want to quite say that, but we're seeing a lot of low effort passes and just sloppy turnovers from both sides.
Now, the price you pay for a high-paced first quarter. Both teams now scrapping, and there's another add to the tally. I believe that was Pytel on that one.
Yeah, just a nice up and under move by Pytel. Gets the lay to fall.
Rejection by Francis, looking to the inside, passes that one up to Moreira, who puts it up, and it's good. Great teamwork from Francis to Moreira, and a timeout called by Chicopee Comp as they are on their heels. Chicopee leads 29-15.
And that was some pure ESP, just mental communication between Moreira and Francis. And Nyla Francis only 1 for 8 with 4 points so far in this one. She hasn't quite turned it on offense, so it's nice to see that she can get that play on defense and then go down the court, make the right read, and set up a 2-point easy layup.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of scoring for Francis, she has been an offensive facilitator out there, always looking for the outlet pass, and she finds a good pass to the inside to Moreira there. That was some highlight level work from the sophomore. And from both sophomores, a young team, I believe, of this starting lineup. There's only one senior in Miley Sanchez.
And when you really put this game into the context of these are two young teams still trying to really figure out their identity, you see a lot of potential for development and a lot of room for their games to grow in a positive way. You know, I don't want to make this sound like a backhanded compliment, but really it hasn't been the highest offensive explosion tonight, and there have been some semblances of really special abilities from both teams.
Yeah, definitely. The highs have been high. I look towards the inbounder here in Waleris Pena, the junior. She's still got a year of play and another already come into her own as a great player alongside her teammate Trinity McCarthy with some impressive ball handling ability. She passes that one to the inside to Betancourt, who gets fouled on the way up.
Just a great feed inside to get into Betancourt, give her an opportunity to go up and get fouled. Both teams taking a lot of trips to the free throw line so far in this one. And when the field goal attempts aren't falling, it's not the worst strategy in the world.
First one falls for Betancourt, also her first points of the game. Can't find the second one. Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be Chicopee's ball. Ball inbounded to Pytel. Pytel with a spin move, crosses center court. Passes that one off, stolen by McCarthy. McCarthy with open court, looks upward, puts it up. Oh, and it's just out. Pena tries to recover the play, but it'll be Chicopee ball.
And that was just a unguarded possession from Chicopee. Pytel not being alert and noticing the defender coming up leads to the easy steal for Chicopee Comp.
Pena heads back to the bench feeling a little defeated. Chicopee with a great move there behind the back play from Marrera.
As you could hear the oohs and ahs and screams of the crowd reacting to that one.
Francis inside to Rivera. Rivera now off to Pytel. Pytel on the outside. A steal from Betancourt.
Just no space for Pytel to get that pass off. Great job by Comp, just playing swarming defense and double teaming.
McCarthy using her speed to her advantage. Cuts the inside. She might be the fastest player on either team out there. Passes that one off to Santiago, who goes, what'd you say, off the Paul George side of the backboard there?
Yeah, that forbidden zone that shooters hate to hit. We saw it most notably from Playoff P, AKA Pandemic P, in that bubble as we get a high arcing free throw from Cheyenne Santiago. My goodness.
Yeah.
That ball spent an hour in the air. What a play from her.
It was a rainbow, but
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I like to say.
There's a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow.
And especially after she looked like she took a hit to the face on that foul.
Oh,
she'll miss the second, but a good offensive rebound. They're going to go the other way, possibly a lane violation.
I thought I heard the ref say something about it didn't hit the rim.
Huh. Well, we've seen a couple airballed free throws here tonight, so that would be nothing new.
Kept it in. Great play from Cassidy Pytel, but it is Chicopee Comp looking for it was an errant pass. McCarthy looking for Newhouser. That one ends up in the VIP section. Yeah,
McCarthy's done a good job handling the ball tonight, but unfortunately that pass just a little bit out of the reach of her teammate. It's plays like that you really can't get back in a game like this when you're trying to fight to stay alive.
Pytel looks to the inside for Marrera. Marrera sends it into the bottom of the backboard.
Both teams just hitting every possible angle of this backboard.
McCarthy facing three defenders. Tries to get that one to the inside. It ends up bouncing off the hands of Newhouser again down low.
And Chicopee Comp, after a 3-point first quarter and a 9-point second quarter, they've got 5 points here. Still just struggling to really find that offensive identity and decide how they want to win this one. They're 3 for 31 from the field.
Herrera off to Francis. Francis passes it to her teammate who loses control of it. Now it's Chicopee. Comp spin move. Can't find it.
And boy, Caitlin Bellinger, lucky she didn't get called for the travel there. It looked like she picked up the dribble and then just turned herself around Macarena style. Comp gonna retain possession, but they got off a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting play for Comp now with less than a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. McCarthy inbounds, back to McCarthy. Passes that one over and a deep three. That one goes rim, top of backboard, out of bounds. An interesting bounce for Caitlin Bellinger.
So I think officially after that one, we've had a ball hit all 4 sides of the rectangular backboard in this one. Paul George truly would be proud.
Yeah, I think the only thing left on my bingo sheet is the back of the backboard. Not sure how they're going to accomplish that one.
And some more hot potato offense as both sides just airballing underneath the rim, passing it to each other.
And Santiago with some flying elbows to finish that play.
You know, that's one of the most valuable skills that a post player can have, in my opinion, knowing how to use those elbows, because they don't like to teach it when you're coming up through the AAU circuit or you know, depending on what coach you have, but really the elbow is the most useful part of the body in basketball.
Well, that one couldn't find the net for Betancourt, who stormed the paint. Now back on defense as Francis marches up court. She passed that one off, and a great interception from Santiago. Passed that one up court to McCarthy, who splits the defender's ball at her feet. That one rolls out of bounds off of the hands of McCarthy.
Once again, Comp just getting a little bit too eager in their possession. Couldn't get an open shot, and they tried to force the matter. Good defense by Chicopee to not bite too hard and get that ball.
Herrera from the outside. Passes that one off to Santiago. That's Anagenzi Santiago, that is. Back to Herrera. Puts that one up. Finds it on that play. Kisses that one off the glass as well. Less than 3 to go. And time will expire. Chicopee extends their lead now 31-17. Dylan, thoughts on that quarter?
Well, this has just been some really electric basketball. I think if Chicopee Comp wants to claw their way back into this, they're going to have to really dig their heels in and get gritty. But at this time, we would like to thank the following sponsor, Basketball Hall of Fame. Hey, basketball fans, want to get closer to the game you love? Visit the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Mass., where greatness lives inside. From the legends who shaped the sport to the moments that changed history, you'll find it all under one roof. Interactive exhibits, incredible artifacts, and unforgettable photo ops for every fan. Plan your visit today at hoophall.com and experience for yourself why greatness lives inside. We'd also like to thank Hooplandia. Attention fans, get ready for the Northeast's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament and festival. Hooplandia returns to Eastern States Exposition, home of the Big E, June 19th through the 21st. With divisions for all ages and skill levels, there's a place on the court for everyone. Rally your team, sign up, and be part of the action. Register today at hooplandia.com.
And Dylan, you talked a little bit about digging back into this game, but personally tonight I will be digging into UMass Dining. UMass Dining is proud to fuel the PVTO students and staff, prioritizing healthy, sustainable, and delicious options for current and future UMass students and community leaders.
You know, in the previous game, me and my good friend and at the time color commentator Zeke Altman were discussing NBA legends, or rather UMass Dining Halls as NBA legends, and we decided that, I think it was pretty consensus, Wu is like Dennis Johnson, while Hamp is Larry Bird, and Frank is Alonzo Trier. What are your thoughts on that, and how could Alonzo Trier impact this game here?
Alonzo Trier is a name that I wish I could tell you I'd heard before. I don't think my ball knowledge is good enough to recall Alonzo Trier. Did he throw elbows like Santiago out there? Cheyenne Santiago, a force to be reckoned with. The emotions are flying out here. Chicopee ball on the inbound after some almost fisticuffs at the Mullins Center.
And that was a very Alonzo Trier-esque play from Cheyenne Santiago, just playing physically as Chicopee able to get the and one.
Sofia Moreira with one of the highest and ones I think I've ever seen. That one, it bounced off the top of the back, not the top of the backboard, but the top of the glass, if you will, and just fell all the way through.
Yeah, and it's high arcing shots like that that are just so hard to get a hand on when you're a defender. Great play by Moreira, putting it in a spot where nobody else could affect it.
Yeah, it took some big bounces too when it comes off the rim like that. McCarthy now passes that one off to Belanger. Belanger to Santiago down low. Puts that one in for two.
Good bucket by Cheyenne Santiago. She's leading Chicopee Comp in scoring now, doing a lot of valuable work down low.
Moreira pull-up J, kisses it off the glass.
Got an assist from the backboard, but hey, when the bank's open, the bank's open.
McCarthy to Belanger again. Belanger now down low to Newhouser. Newhouser back to Belanger. Back to McCarthy to Santiago. To Belanger at the top of the key. Loses control of it. Facing against two defenders. McCarthy. Bounce pass to the inside. Now it's Santiago off the backboard. Side rim off the hands of Santiago.
And you know, Cam, it took them a while to get that possession really going, but I thought Comp did a great job moving the ball there, and they were patient. They were really patient, just taking their time as we see that nice bank shot from Sofia Moreira.
Yeah, all five players had hands on the ball at one point on that offensive possession. Trying a little bit of the same at the other end of the court, but it ends up Chicopee Comp ball, and a big steal from Pytel, who falls to a knee.
And that's a heads-up play by Pytel. To the untrained eye, it might have just looked like she was chucking the ball, but that was really an attempt to try and get a shot off and have it ruled a shot foul. Didn't work out in the end, but still just a heads-up play by her, trying to use that rule book to her advantage.
Yeah, the junior in Pytel definitely exemplifying some basketball IQ. She takes the inbound, gets stuffed on her way up, but still remains with the ball. Passes that one over to Moreira, back to Pytel. Loses control of the ball, almost stolen by Pena, but still in the hands of Pytel. She cannot be stopped, gets fouled on the way up. I actually don't think that was the case, as it is Comp ball. Either way, a great play from Pytel, but it will be Pena now.
You know, I'm gonna take the fall on this too. I thought that was gonna be a foul or a foul committed on Pytel, but a little confusing as to what happened there. As
yeah, an interesting play heading back the other way. Pena just overthrew her receiver, if you will, in Alanis Isaac. Ends up in that prestigious VIP section here at the Mullins Center. Chicopee now marching up the court. This is Sofia Moreira. Moreira marching to the inside. Puts that one over the basket. Rebounded. That one was rebounded by, I believe, Nicole Piedra, number 30. She's got one rebound on the game so far, make that two.
And you could hear Alyssa Stefanelli for Chicopee Comp telling her team to box out. That's one of the most important things that coaches just reiterate and try to drill home time and time again. But it can be hard in games when you're being, physically dominated in the paint and you can't get those elbows up to box out. It's one of the things that can turn the tides of a game.
Right, and you have to remember too, first game of the year for both of these teams. There are definitely still some kinks that need to be ironed out in both teams' games, and boxing out seems to be one of them. Oh, Chicopee. Good opportunity there, but couldn't find the rim. Now this is Rivera. Or excuse me, Crystal Champagne, number 14, one of the best names ever. Champagne again. Chicopee working the ball around. This is Francis with a pull-up jumper, back rim.
And Nyla Francis continuing to struggle from the field.
Well, a stretch pass for Chicopee. Comp adds 2 to their total. That was Caitlin Belanger, the sophomore.
And it's only a 14-point game here, folks, with just about 4.5 minutes left.
Yeah, Belanger with a great steal, tried to air it out, but it's intercepted by Morera, excuse me, who puts the shot up. I can't find the rim. Pena recovers, slows the game down a little bit, now moving with speed. She cuts to the inside. A big steal from Chicopee, number 30, Nicole Piedra.
And it looked like Pena might have been expecting a foul or a stoppage of play after she had the ball taken, just kind of slowly walked away from the play.
Yeah, from this angle, it was just a beautiful play. It looked like Piedra just stole it from her hands, and it just ended up with Piedra. Almost beautiful. Francis with a 3, drains that one.
And Nyla Francis knocking down her first three-pointer of this one. That's got to feel good when she's been struggling from the field.
Now a Pena 3. Recovered by Morera. Sends that one to Champagne. Champagne facing heavy defense, sends that one out of bounds. Checking back into the game is Kaya Price, the sophomore. We saw a lot of her in the first half of this matchup. At one point, she was the team's leading scorer. Now that title belongs to Morera, Sophia Morera, number 3. She's been all over the court tonight. She takes a break now in place of Price. A rebound, put back. Great play from number 20, Alanis Isaac.
Yeah, just great determination there from Isaac to stay with the play, get that rebound and put it up.
That's Price down low. Welcome back to the game. Tries to put that one up, but can't find it. Pena now crossing center court. Makes a nifty move. Still looking for the inside. Loses control of it. Goes into a full split. Betancourt with the steal. Puts that one up. Foul on the way to the rim. Betancourt not giving up on that play. Pena couldn't finish it, so Betancourt steps in.
And when you say full split, that was really a full split. Sort of dramatic almost. You gotta wonder if the floor moppers are doing their job out here. You know, we got a very important event to uphold, guys. We can't have people slipping like that.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully they can pull it together for tomorrow's slate of 7 games. That's right, 7 more high school basketball games as the Pioneer Valley tip-off continues tomorrow with some incredible local matchups from all throughout the Pioneer Valley. But for right now, it's Ava Betancourt from the line. She drains that one. Chicopee Comp only down by 14 at this point. Somewhat of a small differential right now, still in the game, but a deep 3 from Ana Gensi Santiago.
And what a way to score your first points in this one. Santiago's taking that high arcing 3, gets it to fall.
Oh, and locks her up for the jump ball.
So a great play on both ends from Santiago, really just coming into this game and turning it on. It's gonna be hard for Comp to come back at this point, now down 17 with 2.5 left to play, especially if Santiago's gonna keep playing with that intensity.
Ana Gensi Santiago having an immediate impact. She seems to be one of the smaller players on the team, perhaps an underclassman, but also a team favorite on that 3. The bench was losing it, and a big steal from Santiago again. She turns that one over, almost turns into a scoring opportunity, but regardless, Rivera heading back up court, passes that one off. She puts it up. Another 2-piece from Kaya Price.
And Kaya Price extends her scoring tonight. She's been doing a great job keeping Chicopee up.
That was a A three there from Alanis Isaac. With less than 2 minutes to go, some of the star players from this Chicopee Comp girls team leaving the court. That will be Waleris Pena, as well as Bailey Newhauser, who saw a lot of playing time today. A three finds the edge of the side of the backboard, just unlocking new areas of the equipment here in the Mullins Center. A little bit more than a minute 30 to go here. Chicopee still with the lead. I believe they've had it since their first bucket of the game. Now 43-24, a 19-point lead. They, if all goes to plan, will hold on to that lead and pick up their first win of the year.
What a start to the season if you're Chicopee, especially considering last year they had that borderline humiliating loss in the PVTO. They lost 17-52 against this same Chicopee Comp squad. So it's great to see them come back here and exact their revenge.
Yeah, actually, for the keen-eyed Chicopee fans out there, you'll remember that they actually started their season 0-18. And then won their final 2 games to end the season. So a little bit indicative of how big the PVTO really is. They lost their first game and then went on to lose the next 17. So Chicopee righting their wrongs in tonight's matchup. They will start this season with a win. Perhaps they'll win the next 17 and truly reverse that.
We'll see. But no matter what the Chicopee Pacers do, it's going to be hard for them to get off to a worse start than the Indiana Pacers this year in the NBA. Boy, have they been struggling.
Yeah, well, maybe if the Indiana Pacers had a stud like Cassidy Pytel on the line, she goes for her second shot. Can't find that one.
As Chicopee gets set to inbound the ball here right in front of our bench. Gonna see how they'll play these last minute and a half, but you gotta assume they're gonna hold on to the ball and kill some of this clock.
Yeah, still got the starters in as well. It's Morera with a three. She finds nothing but net.
Much to the amusement of these young fans sitting behind us. What a three from Morera.
Yeah, she seems to be a fan favorite here tonight in the Mullins Center. Chicopee Comp hands it over. And it's Pytel looking up court now. Less than a minute to go in this matchup. Drives the paint, puts it up, and it's good. Bench was looking for an and one, but no foul necessary. Pytel does it all by herself. Still extending this lead now to 24 points.
Man, the Chicopee Pacers, man. What can you say about them that hasn't already been said? Just playing with complete dominance as we get yet another shot hitting the top of the shot of the backboard and the bottom of the shot clock. But you can't say enough about this Chicopee girls squad. They've really played with some grit and determination tonight. And that's something that's going to stick with them this entire season, one would assume.
Absolutely, off the backs of players like Sophia Morera, the leading scorer. She's got 13 tonight.
And that's Josiani Diaz getting tied up with number 22, Isabella Galindres. Only 24.7 left on the game clock, but both teams still giving it their all as we get yet another side of the backboard shot.
A great opportunity for some of the subs to come in here at the end of the game. Bodies flying underneath the net. This game is far from over, even with 15 and a half to go.
Cam, what is your favorite meal from UMass Dining?
Well, I would say it is the stir fry. I definitely was on the stir fry for a little bit, but I found that it started to not agree with me when you eat it for lunch and dinner every single day. So now I've had to switch it up a little bit since. How about yourself?
You know, it's all that oil. All that oil sitting in your gut just can't leave a good feeling. You know, I said on the last game that the pierogies from Woo Late Night are my favorite, but you know, I really love the cheesesteak grinder. I can't lie.
Cheesesteak grinder's a good call. Oh my goodness, and then when the train is on the tracks, you better get off or you face a big shoulder from Chicopee's number 22. I believe that was Isabella Colin on that one.
And man, she just read that gap like Ray Lewis coming out of nowhere. Good to see that these two teams are not letting up on that physicality, even in these last couple of seconds.
Ref, what do you mean that was a foul?
And Galindra is good to see she's not too shaken up from that collision as she banks in the first.
Yeah, her first points of the night late in this game. She splits from the line. Chicopee looking deep. As time expires in this matchup, Chicopee takes their first win in over 1,000 days against Chicopee Comp. Now from the Battle of Chicopee, obviously the Chicopee beats Chicopee Comp in girls, Chicopee Comp beats Chicopee in boys. A true split here. The Battle of Chicopee is far from over, but the Chicopee girls team wins the battle today in a dominant victory, 48-25. We thank you all for joining us today. This has been a great end of our Friday matchup.
And we would like to thank our sponsors as well. Hooplandia, the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Terrazza, the Works Cafe, UMass Dining, and McCormick Summer Sport Leadership Academy. Absolutely, we couldn't do it without all of them, all the people behind the scenes. We will see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early, for another game, 7-game slate of PVTO matchup. Here from the Mullins Center, I have been Cameron Neary alongside Dylan Kaminsky. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you tomorrow morning.